Hello learners, welcome to my channel Shraddha's Physics. Today I will start solid state physics. This is the core 12 part of the CBCS syllabus. Today we will start crystal structure. Basically today is the introduction class. So as the topic is solid state physics, so we basically focus on the solids. But before going to the topic, let me tell you the matter it has four state. Matter has four state. One is solid, liquid, second one is liquid, third one is gas, and the fourth one is plasma. So these are the four state of the matter. So basically why we are studying this particular solid state physics? What is the basic need of this solid state physics? I will tell you. You must be acquainted with, first of all let me tell you, solid, in case of solid it has definite shape and fixed volume, but liquids have no definite shape but it has the fixed volume. But in case of gas they don't have fixed shape or they don't have definite shape and they don't have fixed volume. And in case of plasma they have free charge carriers, they have free charge particles. Free charged plasma contains free charge particles and they are usually in equal numbers. And this plasma, they strongly interact with the, or you can say that they can strongly respond to the electromagnetic forces. Since this it contains the free charge particles, so it can respond strongly to the electromagnetic forces. So here we can say that the study of physics that deals with solids is known as solid state physics. This solid state physics, it is actually the branch of the condensed matter physics. Let me tell you, this condensed matter physics, this is a vast topic. Condensed matter physics, and this solid state physics, it is just a branch of this condensed matter physics. So we can study this solid state physics and it is the part of the condensed matter physics. And in case of the condensed matter physics, we basically deals with the solid as well as the liquid. In condensed matter physics we basically deals with the solid and liquid. But in case of solid state physics we will deal with only the solids. Now the question comes, what is the basic need? Why we are studying the solid state physics? Because we need to study the properties of the solid. Like properties of the solids. The properties of the solids, suppose if I will say electrical properties, suppose electrical properties. So in case of electrical properties, to differentiate, why we are studying this? Because if I want to know the electrical properties of a solid, then we can differentiate. Here we can to differentiate between insulator, conductor, and semiconductor, we are studying the electrical properties of the solid. Similarly, the magnetic properties, I can say the magnetic properties. So this magnetic properties, why we are studying this? To know about paramagnetic behavior, or I can say that to know about diamagnetic material, paramagnetic material, ferromagnetic material, etc. Ferromagnetic material, we are studying this. Now comes the thermal properties. We'll discuss all these things in our next unit, the thermal properties. Like, to know, in thermal properties we'll know which solid is thermal insulator, or thermal insulator, or thermal conductor, and similarly we can say the mechanical properties. We are studying the mechanical properties. Why we are studying this mechanical properties? So here we are studying this mechanical properties to know which solid is mechanically strong. To know which solid is mechanically strong. And another one is the optical properties. The optical properties, or these optical properties is also known as optoelectronic properties. So why we are studying this optoelectronic properties? To know which material is required, this is just an example, is required to make a solar cell. So these are some basic properties, that is, this is the requirement to study the solid state physics. Now we will come to our topic, that is the types of solid. So basically the solid can be divided into two types. One is crystalline solid, another one is amorphous solid. One is crystalline solid and another one is known as non-crystalline solid, or it is known as amorphous solid. Non-crystalline, or this is known as amorphous solid, or this is amorphous solid. But here we will only consider on the crystalline solid. Okay, so here we will not focus on this non-crystalline solid, we will just focus on the crystalline solid which is in our syllabus. So in crystalline solid, this is basically divided into again two parts. This crystalline solid is again divided into two parts. One is single and another one is polycrystalline solid. This crystalline, that is the single crystalline solid, the example of it is like quartz, diamond and etc. But the example of the polycrystalline solid is like copper, aurum, Ag, etc. And the example of this non-crystalline or amorphous solid, the example of it is plastic, glass, etc. These are the example of amorphous solid. But here we will only focus on the crystalline structure, that is basically the single crystalline solid. Now we will discuss on the crystalline solid. We already know that in case of the solid they have definite shape and the fixed volume. So in case of the crystalline solid, it has the periodic arrangement of atoms. The periodic arrangement of atoms, the periodic arrangement of atoms, that is definite, it is of definite repetitive pattern, It means that in case of the crystalline solid, suppose these are the crystalline solid, they are already closely packed and these are periodically arrangement. You can see the atoms are arranged in a periodical manner and it is of definite shape and the repetitive pattern. We will discuss it in more detail in the next classes. So the first point of the crystalline solid is this is the periodical arrangement of atoms can be found and it is of definite and repetitive pattern. And the next point is, you can say, the next one is all the bonds in the crystalline solid, all the bonds in the crystalline solid, all the bonds in crystalline solids are equally strong. They are equally strong due to their symmetry. We will also discuss about this symmetry property due to their symmetry. So we can say that since all the bonds in a crystalline solids, they are equally strong due to their symmetry, so we can say that when, here I am writing, so when a crystalline solid is heated, all the bonds are ruptured at a unique temperature. So this is the basic properties of the crystalline solid. So let me tell you again. So in case of the crystalline solid, here you can see the periodical arrangement of atoms, that is at a particular distance, or we can say that at a certain distance this arrangement will again repeated for a certain distance, this pattern will again get repeated. And the second case is all the bonds in the crystalline solid they are equally strong in nature because of their symmetry property. So when a sufficient amount of heat is given to the solid, then we can say that when a crystalline solid is heated, all the bonds are ruptured at a unit temperature. That it means that for a particular temperature, since these bonds are equally strong, so for a unit temperature, when the solid is heated, all the bonds are ruptured. So solid means here I am saying about the crystalline solid. Now we will discuss on the non-crystalline solid or the amorphous solid. Now let us see what is non-crystalline solid or amorphous solid. So in case of the non-crystalline solid, here the random arrangement of atoms are found. Random arrangement of atoms are found. Random arrangement of atoms are found. in case of your amorphous solid. So but in case of the crystalline solid, there are periodically arrangement of atoms, but here the random arrangement of atoms are present. And also all the bonds, here I can say that all the bonds in the amorphous solids, all the bonds in the amorphous solids, amorphous or the non-crystalline solid, amorphous solids are not equally strong, They are not equally strong. So when it is heated, the weakest bond ruptured first, and stronger ones later at a high temperature. So these are basically in the powder form. So this is the basic difference between the non-crystalline solid and the crystalline solid. And one more thing, let me tell you here. The science of determining the arrangements of atoms in the structure of the crystal is called crystallography. For the structure of the crystal, okay, this is the point. The structure of the crystal is called crystallography. The question may be asked like, the study of the structure of the crystal is known as, you may write like the crystallography. Okay, and the father of crystallography, the father of crystallography is his name is Huy. H-A-U-Y. Okay, he laid the foundation for the science of the crystallography. Okay, that's why he is known as the father of crystallography. It is basically the science of the structure of the crystal. Structure means it will determine the arrangement of the atoms. Okay, it will determine the arrangement of the atoms. We will discuss it in detail. What type of arrangement of the atoms in case of the solid is found. So this is all for today. This is basically the introduction class of the solid state physics. Here we have discussed about the difference. We have discussed about the differentiation between the crystalline solid and the amorphous solid. So now you can distinguish between this crystalline solid and the non-crystalline solid. But we will focus on the crystalline solid. In the next class we will see the lattices. What are the space lattice? What is the translation vector? What are the Bravais lattices, etc. So this is all for today. Thank you.